Yeah. Okay. Hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm studying chemical engineering here at Cal Poly Pomona, and I'm going to talk to you today about fracking. For those of you who are unfamiliar with fracking, it's a controversial technique used for drilling crude oil and natural gas. So basically, forget about big underground wells of black sludge. The days of simply dropping a straw and drinking up oil are over. Today, oil and natural gas are known to be located in underground shale rock formations. So essentially, fracking drills down to the depth of these shales in the shape of an L, where it begins to drill horizontally and then uses pressure bursts of water and sand and chemicals to free the oil and natural gas from the rock shale formations. So now that we have this basic understanding of fracking, I'm going to go into my main claim tonight, which is fracking is a safe form of oil drilling that will have positive benefits on the United States. I will support this with three secondary claims. The first, that fracking is aiding in U.S. energy independence. The second, fracking is positively affecting the economy. And third, fracking is safe for the environment. So back to my first claim, that fracking is aiding in U.S. energy independence. First of all, the Energy Information Administration, the EIA, stated that fracking has pushed crude oil output to 7.75 million barrels a day, the highest rate since 1989. This will directly lessen the amount of oil the U.S. will have to import from other countries. The EIA also states that in the first 5 months of 2013, the U.S. met 87% of its own energy needs, the highest annual rate since 1986, due to an increase in natural gas production. Another fact stated by the EIA, natural gas production, led by fracking, will increase by 56% between 2012 and 2040. So how big of a shift is this? Well, back in 2004, when fracking was still on the horizon, the EIA projected that the United States would need to import 5 trillion cubic feet of liquefied natural gas by 2025. Today, the EIA is predicting that the U.S. will be able to export the same amount of natural gas. So not only are we creating enough natural gas from fracking to supply our own needs, we're going to have an excess that we will be available to export. So fracking will lead to energy independence and create product for the country to profit from, which leads me to my second claim, that fracking will positively affect the economy. So experts wrote in a recent study called Energy 2020 that the cumulative impact of new fracking production and associated activity may produce the real GDP by 2 to 3%. And the growth comes directly from the new hydrocarbon production, and the rest is generated by the multiplier effect. So GDP is often considered an indicator of a country's standard of living and is often a measure of economic progress. So with fracking directly increasing our GDP, it'll increase our economy's progress and strength. Another important component in a thriving economy is providing jobs to cycle money back through the system. And fracking is going to help accomplish this. The most dramatic economic turnaround has been in Pennsylvania, which sits atop the Marcellus Shale, the largest repository of gas in closest proximity to the high-demand Northeast. Tens of thousands of jobs have been created over the past 3 years in the industry. Also, Pennsylvania estimates drillers have contributed $1.3 billion since 2006 in taxes, which directly boost the local and state economy. Fracking also gets money in the hands of consumers by lowering the cost of heating homes. Natural gas used to cost $15 per 1,000 cubic feet. Today, the cost is $10. The federal government estimates that home heating bills in 2012 were 25% lower than they were in 2008. Fracking has many beneficial effects that put money in consumers' hands and distribute throughout the economy. So energy independence and a growing economy are great benefits, but only if they can be delivered in a safe manner. Which brings me to my third and final supporting claim, which is that fracking is safe for the environment. Many people may dispute this and believe that fracking is harmful to the environment. For example, the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, has alleged that drilling caused groundwater contamination. However, lately, they had to retreat from several investigations against energy companies, and EPA Administrator Lisa Jackson has recently admitted that there's no evidence fracking has ever directly polluted groundwater. So to follow that up, Stanford University geophysicist Mark Zoback confirmed that fluids used in hydraulic fracturing have not contaminated any water supply. So essentially the claims that fracking pollutes groundwater have been proven to be false as investigations have played out. So to give you a little bit of perspective, Groundwater has been proven to exist at anywhere from 300 to 1,000 feet underground. And the fracking site, where they drill horizontally, exists at about 6,000 feet underground. So ZOVAC concluded that the contamination is very likely due to the near mile separation from the fracking site to the groundwater. Another claim against fracking is that too much water is used during the process. Well, according to the Department of Energy and the Groundwater Protection Council, fracking counts for less than 1% of total water demand. For perspective, the amount of water used in all of the fracking jobs in California last year was about the same amount of water that the state's golf courses consumed in half a day. While fracking does consume water, the process has been designed efficiently and the wastewater can be treated and reused. Another claim against fracking is that it increases the likelihood of earthquakes. ZOVAC, the Stanford University geophysicist, has explained that the amount of seismic energy released from fracking is about the same as a gallon of milk falling off a kitchen counter. To support that, a year-long study released in 2012, the first of its kind in California at the Inglewood oil field in the Baldwin Hills area, found no detectable effects on vibration due to fracking. Also, the National Research Council concluded last year that fracking does not pose a high risk of inducing earthquakes. So fracking is proven to be safe for the environment, which brings me back to my main claim, that fracking is a safe form of oil drilling that will have positive benefits in the United States. Thank you.
All right, Jonathan, the claim is clearly stated. You've got a nice introductory section that explains the subject. There's a good preview of what the supporting structure is. Internally, you signpost those issues as you go through. There's a good explanation on the individual points as to how you're supporting that point. And then there's generally good evidence on all of those points. The only thing that I think might have enhanced it a little bit better would have been some additional examples to counter some of the counter examples that the other side talks about. But I thought you did a very good job presenting credible information on the issue of the supplies and the impact it's having on total energy use. Also on the environmental issues, I think you're in pretty good shape there. I like especially the argument that deals with the water issue, since that's one of the things that in California is used frequently to attack fracking. I think that that was a kind of a good anticipatory response on that issue. All right, thank you.